continue my work to correct this by serving another term. But again, I want to stress that all my initiatives began with an investigation of alternative funding to limit the use of taxpayer dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, as you can see, many of my initiatives affect the entire city.
Sure.
And that's basically, it's a long answer for your question.
No, that's fine. That's great.
I wanted you to see where I'm coming from.
So you ran through a lot of the initiatives that you would like to work on and help that way. Are there any things that you feel that Huber Heights as a city outside of those initiatives would need work with? Are there anything else that you could think of?
Would need more work with?
Sure. Anything else that you see needs more work? Yeah.
Yeah, we need more community development. I'm a strong supporter of continued residential and commercial development, and incentivizing businesses, and especially in the southern part of town where we're doing the Brant Pike revitalization. I will continue my efforts to improve the city's quality of life.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
By, like I said, installing sidewalks. I'd like to see bike trails. I'd like to see a dog park and additional playgrounds on the sports field so that the siblings of the kids that are playing, will be occupied and nearby the parents so they can be watched. The parents can watch both them and the kids that are playing golf. And we need to build on our successes today in that area while working to, expand small businesses and add community and family-oriented activities, but to do this in a fiscally responsible way. And I think we need to hire a full-time economic director to promote the Heights on Executive Boulevard and to help us more strongly focus on the Brant Pike revitalization. And I also think we need a full-time grant writer to allow our city to capitalize on the thousands and thousands of grant opportunities available. I know that a lot of the council members, including me, have provided grant opportunities that we have run across, but they have databases and things that they can pursue, and I think the only thing holding them back is time, because they're sharing their job responsibilities.
Right. Yeah, that's been talked about.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, that has been a topic of interest. Doing this series of podcasts, that's been a topic of interest with a lot of the candidates. So it sounds like that's going to be something that the citizens can look forward to in the future.
Yeah, and I'm a member, like I said, of Parks and Rec and the Brant Pike Revitalization Committees, and so I'm very committed to this goal. But we're not going to be able to do this without public-private partnerships. Some people just don't seem to realize that the city can't just go in, like in the area where the Brant Pike revitalization is going on. We can't just go in and take over or make a property improve their business. We can only enforce zoning violations, and we're doing that. And future growth will take a much more aggressive approach. And we're currently working on ways to incentivize these businesses to make their properties more desirable to new businesses, or to use other methods to make them available to new business prospects if those current business or property owners, don't want to participate in the revitalization. So there's a lot of options that the city has, and we are looking into those. I know, once again, people are impatient, but like I said, you just can't go in there and make the property owners do something.
Mm-hmm. What do you think Huber Heights is doing well? What do you think council, city government, community? What do you think Huber is doing well?
I think we are doing well in residential development. We have new developments, multiple developments, all throughout the city, all throughout the city on all sides of it. So that we're doing very well. What I think, and we are bringing in new businesses. I'm very happy to see that, like, our fast food businesses have given themselves facelifts. So that has made a major improvement as you're driving through town. But
it does. I was in there. I was in Huber in June, and I drove in, and we had moved last October. So driving in through there in June, I was like, wow, KFC's different. That's different. There's a new Hardee's there, and then Wendy's, I think, was being knocked down. So
they're just about ready to open in a couple of weeks, and it is a huge difference. It's a beautiful modern building.
Nice.
So that's really nice. But as our consultant for the Brant Pike revitalization effort pointed out to us, we certainly have enough auto parts stores. We just opened up a brand new car wash store. I think it's the 8th one we have in the city.
Oh, wow.
And while I absolutely, it's up there behind McDonald's on 202.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. And I think it's probably going to hurt some of the other ones that are already there. But like the consultant said, we have enough auto-related type businesses in the city, and I would like to see more community small businesses and maybe some manufacturing, the medical. Since we're not near a university, that may prevent that from happening. But I would like to see more industry come in here. And I think they should be breaking ground soon on the new hotel that's going to be built near T.J. Chomps. And I think that's going to be the catalyst for more development up there on Executive Boulevard in the area previously known as the Heights. So I think there's a lot of stuff that's going on that the citizens don't necessarily know about. And there's nothing that I would say that we're not doing right. I'm just saying that if we had a full-time economic development director and a full-time grant writer, that we could probably be more aggressive in going forward with pursuing businesses. But I do know that when I've sent some suggestions to the city for companies to come in, they have indicated to me that they have been in contact. So I know they're working very hard to do that. And some businesses that come in here come in as a result of demographics. You can't. They make the decision whether they want to come in or not.
Sure.
And with so many fast food businesses on the edge of bankruptcy or whatever, we just lost TGI Fridays. I think Applebee's is at risk. And God forbid, we even heard that Elder Bierman's was, that they were refinancing or doing something. All the brick and mortars are really, really suffering. Well, they said Macy's was too. So, I mean, our malls are going to change their faces over the next number of years just because of people's propensity to shop online.
Sure, that's Amazon and exactly, all those.
I would like to see, I'd like to see an Amazon distribution center here or some company like that. I mean, we have land that we could put one in here, and that would be a tremendous influx of jobs.
Sure,
and opportunities. So,
those.
And I know the city's addressing those kind of things.
Those fulfillment centers. There's quite a few here. I'm north of San Antonio, right around the San Antonio area. There's 3 or 4 of those fulfillment centers right in this area. There's a ton of jobs when those come in. Are they building one in Moraine? Is that what I've heard?
No, not in Moraine. It's in Mason.
Mason. Okay, I knew there was something with an M there, but they're going to get a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
So if you guys go after Amazon, you'll.
And we have a lot of property and opportunity, and being on the crossroads of 70 and 75, to me, and close to the airport, it just seems like we'd be a prime opportunity for something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Another issue that comes up quite a bit is social media, the comments, maybe I guess it is the bickering back and forth between council members. Sometimes it's kind of lightened up as of late. But where do you see social media? How do you feel like you would best be able to use it? And what's your thoughts on social media?
Well, but when I first got on council, I had never been on Facebook. It just something I didn't want to do. Mm-hmm. Because everybody, so many people just use it to say, I'm doing this today, I'm doing that today, and it was just not really significant information. But like I said, when I found out that the ward meetings were not drawing enough people, then I had to embrace it. So it can be good, it can be bad, but the one thing for sure is that council members should only use social media to inform our citizens about current issues, to provide facts, and to serve as a vehicle for citizens to reach out to us with questions and concerns. Mm-hmm. And respectable debate is good. However, it should never be used to attack or criticize citizens or to have public agreements with other council members. That is just horrible. When used correctly, it can be a valuable tool. And I've used my Ward 5 Facebook page to inform residents of valuable information, respond to their concerns, and if reelected to council, I will continue to use social media as a means of ensuring the residents have easy access to me and to information about what's going on in Huber Heights.
Good deal. Another issue that's been talked about, it's been talked about on social media at the council meetings from time to time, it gets brought up, is in May, the voters chose to, I guess it would be vote down to remove the residency requirement for the city manager. So it remains in the charter. What are your feelings with that moving forward? And there's the question. What are your thoughts on the residency requirements?
Yeah. I have supported every issue that our residents have voted for. And that's my job, as I am their voice, to council, on council, and I work for them. However, our city attorney has stated numerous times that because of an Ohio Supreme Court ruling, that our charter residency requirement is unenforceable. Mm-hmm. Now, I understand that there are those in the community and on council that believe that there's a small section in the ruling that exempts our city manager from that ruling. But until that language is challenged in the courts, I feel we are bound to abide by the Supreme Court ruling because it supersedes our charter. And while I truly understand the impatience that a lot of people have with this issue not being brought to closure, I assure you it will be resolved. Since our current city manager has been in this position for, 4 or 5 years, and no one on council has questioned the great job that he's done for our city, that there are multiple options that we are looking at for addressing this, and each one of those options has a legal implication. Mm-hmm. So we are weighing each one of them carefully to minimize any potential financial impact to our city. And I know that's probably not the answer that people want to hear, but as council people, we have to do things that don't have severe financial implications on our city. And all I can say is we are still working it. Unfortunately, it's not working as fast as people want, but by no means are we